The text came on a Tuesday afternoon while I was lost in spreadsheets at work. It was from my wife, Sophia, and it was short and cold. Ryan, I want a divorce. From now on, please direct all communication through my lawyer, Mr. Harris. His contact details will follow. 15 years of marriage ended in a few lines. The night before we had dinner, talked about weekend plans, and nothing suggested this was coming. I stared at the screen for minutes, emotions crashing in waves, shock, anger, hurt, but on the surface I felt strangely calm. She had set the rules, lawyers only, so I replied simply, understood. Once I sent that message, the practical side of me took over. If we were only dealing through lawyers, then all informal financial arrangements between us were void. She had supplementary credit cards tied to my account, those were cancelled within minutes. I stopped her monthly allowance transfer to her personal account. Streaming services under my name were logged out from all devices and passwords changed. Even the car she drove was under a lease in my name and insured on my policy. I didn't cancel insurance immediately, but I made a note to bring it up with my lawyer. None of this was revenge, just the reality she had created. Within hours, I had forwarded Mr. Harris's details to Ms. Bennett, the divorce attorney a colleague had recommended. She responded quickly, told me to document everything, and assured me I had acted logically. 72 hours later, my phone rang from an unknown number. I had a feeling. Is this Ryan Miller? A sharp voice asked. This is Mr. Harris, representing Sophia. My client is experiencing difficulties. Her cards are declining, she has no funds, this is highly irregular. The financial status quo is generally maintained during separation. I answered calmly, Mr. Harris, my wife demanded divorce via text and insisted all communication go through you. I complied. Informal arrangements ended the moment she set that rule. Any future support must be handled legally, between you and my lawyer. He snapped that I had acted in bad faith. I reminded him she ended the trust and communication, not me. He said they would seek emergency financial relief. I told him that was her prerogative and ended the call. My heart pounded, but for the first time since that text, I felt in control. By the end of the week, things escalated. Mr. Harris filed for emergency temporary spousal support and exclusive use of the marital home, even though Sophia had already left. The amount she requested was astronomical. She wanted me to fund her old lifestyle, her new housing, and her legal fees. Ms. Bennett countered with a much smaller figure based only on essentials. Then came the personal attacks. Sophia's best friend, Laura, called me late one night, yelling that Sophia was on her couch and couldn't buy groceries. I told her Sophia had chosen lawyers only, and I was respecting that. Laura accused me of being cruel and vindictive after 15 years of marriage. I reminded her that Sophia hired a lawyer before even talking to me. She screamed that Sophia would take me for everything. I replied calmly, she can try. That's what the courts are for. Days later, my bank flagged suspicious activity on an old joint account we had opened years ago and forgotten. It had about $500 left. Sophia had found the debit card and tried to drain it. I froze the account immediately. It wasn't about the money, it was about the fact that while her lawyer accused me of acting in bad faith, she herself was sneaking around outside the process she demanded. Ms. Bennett was almost pleased. This, she said, showed a clear pattern and would help our case. 3 weeks later came the emergency hearing. Sophia looked stressed, wouldn't meet my eyes. Mr. Harris argued that she was destitute and I had maliciously cut her off. Ms. Bennett calmly presented evidence. Sophia's text demanding lawyers only, proof that I still paid mortgage, utilities, and insurance, her attempt to drain the dormant account, and her part-time income showing she wasn't completely without resources. The judge was not impressed with Mr. Harris's theatrics. He asked Sophia why she hadn't spoken to me before hiring a lawyer. She mumbled something about being intimidated. The judge ordered temporary support, but far closer to our proposal than theirs. Enough for basics, not for the lifestyle she expected. That's when the dirty tricks began. HR at my job called me in after an anonymous complaint accused me of using company resources for personal legal matters and suggested I was unstable. Luckily, my boss trusted me, and IT logs cleared me. Complaint dismissed. Then Sophia's mother called, sobbing and accusing me of abandoning her daughter. She begged me to give Sophia more money. I told her the same thing. Sophia set the rules, and lawyers would handle finances. Every manipulative call, every false complaint, every outburst, I documented carefully. I realized I couldn't just react, I needed to secure my position. Ms. Bennet sent a letter to Mr. Harris about the car. Sophia had 30 days to either take over the lease or return it, otherwise I would stop payments. For the house, we filed for exclusive use since she had left voluntarily, and we started the valuation process. We demanded full financial discovery, suspecting hidden assets. I logged everything: calls from Laura, false HR complaints, attempts at manipulation. Then Sophia broke her own rule. She texted me directly, "Ryan, you can't take the car. How will I get anywhere? Please stop this." I screenshotted it, forwarded it to Ms. Bennet, and replied, "Per your request, all communication must go through your lawyer." She went silent. 6 months later, the divorce was finalized. It had been 7 months since her text. The car fight dragged on. She couldn't qualify to take over the lease, refused to return it, and when I stopped paying, the company repossessed it from outside Laura's house. The house was sold, equity split nearly evenly, though I got a slight advantage after discovery. Sophia had a separate savings account her parents had contributed to and some inherited stocks she had forgotten to disclose. Not huge, but enough for the judge to factor it into the division. Spousal support was limited to 2 years, rehabilitative alimony, enough to help her transition but not fund her lifestyle indefinitely. Legal fees, we each paid our own. Today, Sophia lives in a small apartment, working more hours, still complaining about money. Laura has distanced herself, tired of supporting her. Her parents probably still help. She's shown no remorse, still baffled that I didn't just keep paying for her life. The entitlement runs deep. As for me, it was a stressful 7 months, but I came out stronger. I kept my job, secured my assets, and found peace. I've reconnected with friends, started hitting the gym, and I finally enjoy the quiet of my own home. No revenge, no theatrics. Just the steady consequences of her choices meeting cold, legal reality. She wanted lawyers only, and she got exactly that.